Welcome to the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. This is Baby Friday. That's what we affectionately call Thursdays on the Chop Shop. As you know, we broadcast Monday through Thursday from 12 to 2 Central Time. Don't forget, coming up in about 15 minutes, we have Jesse Washinton of The Undefeated. He's a great writer. Used to work for the Houston Press back in the old days. When I met him, he's going to come chop it up with us for a little while. He penned a very intriguing article yesterday about LeBron James in the aftermath of this China NBA fiasco. But first and foremost, I want to give you guys an update on the Houston Rockets played their first home game on yesterday.
Hey, Jimmy, do me a favor before we go there. Let's say a rest in power for a great man who passed away this weekend. This morning. Rest in power to Elijah Cummings, and then we can go in there. Let's rest in power. Civil rights, a pioneer, Elijah Cummings. I woke up to this news this morning, and I saw where his wife, Jimmy, said her name is Maya Rockamore Cummings. She just wanted people to know that this is a critical time. And Elijah wanted everybody to look at things critically and to be a part of the process. Even if you're not into politics, get into it because it's such a critical time. And she also said he fought for America, for the American people until his last breath. I'll never forget one of my most telling moments of him when he was talking about the cost of prescription drugs are killing his people. He told everybody, he said, we were dancing with the angels. He said, we can all be on Dancing with the Angels. And the question would be, in 2019, what did we do to keep our democracy intact? So I just wanted to play a rest in peace, a rest in power to Elijah Cummings today, because I don't want us to I know we're going to get off into sports, but that was a pioneer in black causes in the Baltimore area and all around the world. Now, Jimmy, you can go and talk about it. Sports.
Houston Rockets 114, San Antonio Spurs 128 in preseason action last night. Houston Rocket News head coach D'Antoni announced that Eric Gordon will be coming off the bench and reassuming his six-man role in order to get an effort to give the Rockets more energy with that second unit. This means that Daniel House will become the starter in the opening season at the 3 spot. So wow. Daniel House will be at the 3, and he'll probably interchange with you have PJ Tucker at the 4, and of course Clint Capella at the 5. And need not mention the backcourt, which is arguably the most potent two-man guard tandem in the NBA offensively, and that is James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, you guys remember, don't pay attention much to these preseason stats. Every team is trying to find a cohesive balance somewhere in their rotation, especially at this point, this juncture. So Russell Westbrook, remember, he had surgery during the offseason. He's running right now with a couple of fractured fingers. So don't look at the stat line. However, but if you do pay attention, look at the stat line, you can't ignore the 40, 10, and 7 that was put up last night by James Harden. And as I toss and ask you, Chris, will James Harden have to maintain this type of productivity for the Rockets to get it done this year?
Absolutely. And I want to pose a question to the Boom Boom Room. There's no more big three, Hatter. Now they're dynamic duos. What is the most impressive dynamic duo this year? Obviously, you know what I'm going to say because I'm a Brun sexual. I'm going to say the Brow and Brun sexual. The Brow and the Brun. That's what I'm going. I'm going the Brow and the Brun. So the Rockets certainly have a potent dynamic duo themselves. I mean, think about it. 2 guys, one averages a triple-double, the other one is probably the most potent scorer, lethal scorer in the league. The problem is, again, defense. The problem is, again, getting over the hump. It's not the Warriors this year. right? You're going to have to get over the Clippers and the Lakers. So I don't know if they added enough to get it done. I mean, certainly I'm one that's going to be like, going to watch the Rockets, be glued to the television. But at the end of the day, man, the question is to the Boomer Room. Is it enough with all the dynamic duos and also with the cohesive teams of the Denver Nuggets, of the Utah Jazz, the Spurs? You got some teams that have cohesive units. They don't have the dynamic duo punch, but they got cohesive units and they win by committee. And we will see. And you got the up and coming Sacramento Kings. They got some dudes on their squad. And you got the dynamic duo up there in the Pacific Northwest, the Portland Trailblazers, C.J. McCullough and Dame Lillard. Man, the West is loaded, and the Rockets are right there. But at the end of the day, hopefully they get past this distraction, I want to say, and the fractures that Westbrook has. But they still got their work cut out for them, guys. And I don't know where this thing's going to end, but getting to the championship, this might be the toughest year of all. Think about it. They fought for the last 2 years to get past Golden State. Dale Morey, Fertitta says, no matter what, we're going to get past Golden State. And then all of a sudden, Kawhi come to the West. The Brow go with the Bron. The West just got a whole lot tougher. So that plan just went kaput.
Now, what do you think? I mean, does James Harden have to put up numbers that are in the shadows of last year when he averaged, 35, 36 a game in order for the Rockets to get it done?
I don't know. I'm serious. I seriously don't know, Jimmy. I'm just excited about the season. I don't want to forecast right now, because you just gave me a time bomb right now. You got Daniel House starting now. So I got to rethink my prognostication, my thing about it, because I got to look at this roster again. I just got give me a chance to look at this roster again, and give me until I tell you what. Right before the season start, I'll give you an answer. Right now, I don't have.
One thing about Daniel House, you look at it like this: it's an upgrade on the athleticism and the length. A lot of teams alone. Eric Gordon was starting last year. He was thrust into the starting lineup. He's about 6'3", right? Daniel House 6'6". So, and Daniel House is a much better rebounder than Eric Gordon. He can defend a little bit more outside of his range than Eric Gordon. And it puts Eric Gordon in a position. Remember, he's just because you don't start mean you won't finish. Eric Gordon is still going to be on that court in the fourth quarter during crunch time. So that's something to think about in regard to these Rockets. Now, speaking of NBA news, I got something else. You know what? I'm really getting connected with the gall of a Draymond Green. Before it was like, because he had, remember, last season, he just wasn't packing the same punch on the court. But Draymond Green has brought up a hell of a point. He says that teams deserve more blame when their top picks don't pan out, right? And I'm going to quote Draymond on this. Here's his reason. Remember, once again, in the NBA, when all these top picks, and specifically there's one team he's throwing a dart at, and that's the Phoenix Suns. Come straight to mind. Remember now, Phoenix Suns has not made the playoffs in the past 9 years. 9. I'm about to round the fingers. Now, here's Draymond in his comments. He said the reason is because you're friends with them, meaning the media. You're friends with them, and you want all the access from them. So the way you guys will come out and bash players, you don't do that to the organizations because it's all about assets and protecting your future. No one really protects these younger guys' future because it's all about what I can do, what can I do for myself. So no one talks about the organization. It's always just the player. About it to be the young, and let's say, and I'm going para from speeding through the quote. It's a long quote. I go toward the end. Right? No Phoenix writer is going to bash the Phoenix Suns. But let's be frank about it. When he was there, the organization was terrible, right? Everything was going wrong, but he got blamed like he's the problem. When he left, ain't nothing go right. So that's my take on it. Who's the he that he's probably talking about? Who's the who?
Oh.
Did you see the recent head coach? Who's the recent head coach? That was a brother for the Phoenix Suns from UCLA.
Oh, Earl Watson.
Bingo. So now the question is, do you think that Green has some legs with his, some movement or angle or some validity with this recent charge?
I don't understand so you're not blaming the organizations. Wait a minute, where is his fight? I'm trying to see where his fight at. He's saying the team should be responsible for when a first round draft pick don't pan out. Teams are responsible. You know why? Because they lose.
But he's talking about media. He was talking to the media.
But the writers get paid by whom?
They get paid by their bosses.
Their bosses.
Organizations, their entities.
At their entities. And they're partners with whom? The team. They get to fly on the team plane, some of these writers now. Some have to do so in some cities. But for the most part, the whole congregation of media aren't obligated to be friends and be subjective to a particular organization. The bulk of them. Surely some have beat writers that are assigned, like in Houston, they have, I think Jenny Dow is assigned to the Houston Rockets. She covers the Rockets, for the last couple of seasons. And I remember our guy Angel Verdeo, when his last assignment with the Houston Chronicle before he left, and he was covering the Houston Astros. So yes, some do, but the bulk of them don't have the amenities. So Chris, you're in the media, CBS Sports. Do you think that your comrades in mainstream media provide favoritism or immunity to the organizations?
You know why they do? Because they want access. Of course they want. They want access. It's easier to criticize the players. And I agree. Like even in college coaching, do they criticize the players or do they criticize the recruiting? They always say the player didn't pan out. If you talk to a coach, he says, "Man, that dude was really good in high school. He just didn't pan out." Or when he got to college, he loved the girls too much, or he wouldn't go to class, or I didn't know he wouldn't practice hard. I couldn't control that. He looked good in high school. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to the guys that they draft. Man, I had no idea that he couldn't do this or that. The head coach in college, it was a different system, or it's based on potential. It kind of speaks to the way you do rankings, Jimmy. Like it's two ways of looking at it. You can do it based on potential. I call it the time machine, right? Or you can look in the crystal ball. Jimmy does a time machine. What have you done for me lately? It's not my job to project. Some people say, man, but I need you to project. Depends on which side of the fence you're on. As a college coach, you got to be able to project. It's really not Jimmy's job to project unless you really put that type of heat on it, but you got to write that check. So
bingo.
Got to write that check.
I ain't getting none of that check.
Got to write that check because if it doesn't work out, Hatter, guess what? That coach is held accountable. But that is interesting. Who's held? Think about what the Rockets did. I'm not even going to pile on Maury. They are trying their best to get ahead of the Golden State Warriors. Now, it's not the Warriors anymore. They're gone. Do you think that them bringing in Westbrook is a better fit to get past the rest of the guys, or was it better to keep it status quo with Chris Paul? I still don't know why they got rid of Chris Paul. I still don't know. I know he wasn't what he was. They still got to where they needed to get to. Just played what they played the team that should have won the championship.
Well, guess what?
Come on, man.
And if you can get a 5 year younger, a guy that's doing the same thing, I think that's good business, Chris.
Listen, man, what about culture? We just talked about Bryce Harper yesterday.
Man, let's get that culture stuff. Man, throw that culture stuff out there.
Come on, man. Listen. We got to talk about culture.
Man, y'all always talk about culture until it don't work.
No, stop that. That's not true. That's not true when you talking about superstars. But Hatter, can you educate our Chop Shop fans? Because somebody in the Boom Boom Room named Fob was talking about, we didn't know we were talking about Bryce Harper and his contract. Will you educate him, please? Because we always got to come back and get
educate him about what?
Because he
Because
said
first
Bryce
of
Harper
all, I
turned down
told
some
you,
money.
Chris, I
Unbelievable.
haven't looked up Bryce Harper's contract. And don't, like Jimmy said, I don't give a fat rat's ass about Bryce Harper's contract, number one. But what I did want, excuse me, Lord, what I did want, all I asked, I didn't say anything to Fob. I asked Fob a question. I
Right.
said, Mr. Fob, go and examine both of the contracts. That's all
Right.
I asked him. Go and examine. How am I wrong by telling you to go and examine both contracts? And if you go and examine one track and you find out all the annuities in one of the contracts that he won't get paid till he's 65 years old, then you'll understand. So before you, I didn't see it. Chris saw your comment.
And then Jimmy got him. So we had to go three the hard way on him and let you
Yeah,
finish.
but don't come on our show.
Exactly.
We ain't came over to Maiden Creek and call you when you lose a game and call you and talk and question what you do in your movements in your game. So don't come over here trying to question. All I asked you to do was go and check the two contracts and compare them and quit clickbaiting and reading the first paragraph. Read the whole article and do me a favor. Don't be a one source guy. Jimmy, what I used to call you, you didn't like it? One source Joe. He told me my name ain't Joe. I said, well, one source Jimmy. Go and acquire more than one source. That's all I'm saying. So, Chris, why did you crank me up on Fob? But go, Jimmy.
I had to get you because Fob Cameron, he always trying to put little stats out there because he just put something.
One of the things that we did go and I found out a quote from Bryce Harper himself, and that's when I produced it and introduced it to you guys on yesterday, and I let Fob know Bryce Harper himself explained that of that. Sure, the Washington Nationals offered him more money, right? But approximately 100 million of the 350 million estimated dollars, he got 10 years, 300 mil right now with the Phillies, right? Something like that. Well, the Nats offered him more, but most of it was deferred to like 2000 and he would have been 63 years old, some stuff like that, when he got most of his money. He said, man, I don't know about you guys.
I want my money now.
but all right, that ain't a bad retirement plan, which, understand. Bobby Bonilla looks like a champion.
Jim.
Taking a similar.
Jimmy, that's an outlier. That ain't happened no more in baseball.
It's the worst contract in baseball history.
That ain't happened no more ever. And Bobby Bonilla, it wasn't like he was doing it. You know what, Jimmy? Back when it was done, it wasn't a great. It wasn't presumed as a great move. Now it looks a whole lot better. So we have revisionist history, y'all, and we're prisoners of the moment. So let's just let that, Bobby Bonilla, he did it. That ain't happening to nobody else. Allen Iverson, thank God that Reebok said, Allen, we're not gonna give you all this money right now. We're gonna put this money into annuity until you 55, whatever years old. Because if he had got his hand on that other little 30-something million, it probably would be gone too. So guess what? It worked, like I said, it worked for Allen. But guess what? Charles Barkley. Let me give y'all a story about Charles Barkley. Great thing. He knew he was going to mess his money off. So he told Nike, he was one of Nike's first signature athletes. He told Nike, don't pay me. Don't give me no money. Just put my money in stock. So Charles Barkley, check this out, y'all. He been had stock in Nike since way back. So he is a very, very, very wealthy man. They don't talk about it a lot, but all of his stuff just rolled over and like his stock and split about 4 or 5 times. Very rich man. But Jimmy, you can go continue.
But that's ditto and to the second power for George Rounder. When he first came aboard, they offered him
I don't
stock.
know about his situation.
They also offered Moses Malone stock. They offered John Lucas stock. And when that was part of the deal because and you think about it in business,
They
that's
didn't
a
have much
great
money in the
thing.
beginning.
Exactly because that's a way for you to if you believe in me, then you can invest your future into me, which you can reap great rewards. So don't forget, guys, coming up shortly, we're going to be
Jimmy, it don't work like that all the time, though. It don't work like that.
If the company flops, then of course it don't work. But it's a gamble. You don't know. That's like somebody had to invest in every major tech company out there, and if it blows up, guess what? You win. If it don't, you lose. And so that's the thing, you have to think about in it. And now we are waiting, guys. We just tuning in, just joining us on the Chop Shop. We're waiting on Jesse Washinton from the Undefeated. He's going to be joining us shortly, and we're going to engage in a lot of great convo. But meanwhile, I want to remind you tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time will be Game 4 of the Astros and the Yankees. The Astros and the Yankees, Game 4. Of course, Zach Greinke will take the mound.
Greinke, Jim is Greinke.
He Greinke right now to me. He ain't done nothing to me. His name is in chop shop mode until you perform in the postseason. He hadn't done nothing in the postseason. Even going back to when you was in Arizona, 5 straight postseason games, you laid duds. And we're overdue. He's overdue. Now don't get it twisted. The last time that he pitched in Yankee Stadium. The last time he pitched in Yankee Stadium, he shined like new money.
Get the snot beat out of him.
You think so? You really believe that? Let me tell you something. Understand what's at stake. This is gonna be the first time for 4 straight days of playing in the American League Championship since like 1911. They haven't played 4 straight days. This helps the Astros more than it helps the Yankees. Understand this. You get game 4, we're playing with house money. We've already attained home field advantage back from the Yankees. We mean the Astros. So let's say if you do win tonight, tomorrow guess who's on the mound in game 5? Verlander. Make your V. You went to Villanova, Chris. Show us your V. Throw your V up in there. No. Flip it. So Verlander's game 5, right? Guess who would probably be game 6 if we need a closeout game? If you happen to win game 5 and go up 3-2, you come back to Houston for game 6 and 7, that means Cole will be on the mound game 6. Otherwise, we save Cole for game 7. And that's how it goes.
Bring him on. We're going to have to bring him on.
And guess what? I'm listening to the talking heads in New York, in the media, and it's funny how every show, that's how you can tell what side media's on, guys. Listen at who they're always trying to help. They want New York Yankees to win. And I understand that. The historic Yankees, 27, 29 National World Championship. I understand why you would want the Yankees to win, right? But at the same time, the Yankees should switch up the batting order. They should move Torres on up. They should. I'm listening to all of it, Chris.
You in hate mode right now.
Can you pour the water on your head on Monday? That's all I'm going to ask you to do after this series. Don't drink the water. I need you to take your hat off and pour the water on your head.
Hatter, can I get my logo behind me next time? Because Jimmy he act like he on the payroll over there since he got his little logo behind him, Hatter. My goodness.
I'm trying to find Jesse Washington. Y'all keep talking. Jimmy done gave me an unbelievable task.
He gave you a task.
Oh my goodness. It's unbelievable.
Jimmy, I sent you something yesterday in the Chop Shop, Jimmy.
You did?
I mean, Hatter sent it out. I want to say, you know what? Let me pivot for a second. Hatter, the worker that got the car dealer. What was that you sent to the shop? Oh my goodness! Can you bring that up? That's a doozy. Please bring that up.
I mean,
please talk about that.
I mean, didn't you want to talk about? I did not tell
Jimmy. It's a good one.
Jimmy, you got to reach out to Jesse another way. It's too many Jesse Washingtons. That's a normal name. I can't reach him. Everybody's unavailable. He got to give me a distinct mark on who he is. I'm just letting you know. I've been trying to tell you that over text, but you don't get it. So I got to tell you this over air. He got to give me some distinct name or something distinct in his thing, or screenshot his actual Skype thing for me to find it out. Okay.
Because we ready to tear him up. So
yeah, because we ready. So,
please get it.
So back to you, Chris. I sent you an see, I had to tell. This was in the news yesterday, y'all. It said former Mercedes-Benz manager, he outs the owner for frequently using the N-word, bragging about swindling black customers in a lawsuit. And all of this black guy worked in Indiana. Indiana, I hope y'all know that's the capital of KKK. Okay? And it's the capital of KKK, and Chris, and KKK land, and that's where Mike Pence is from. And, and the guy was just saying some, the man was, Chris, didn't I send you some stuff, what he was saying?
Unbelievable.
He was talking about,
unbelievable.
In his complaint, he described one occasion when the owner lost his control and lost his cool because the black players were deciding to kneel in the protest during the anthem. This owner was going crazy and going all over. Y'all can look it up, Google it. And then the firm that had been representing the dealership's owner acknowledged that using the phrase ninja, nigger, that's what he said. I ain't gonna, he called it nigger in the wood pile during a sales team meeting, but insisted that the remark wasn't rejected at Turner any of his black employees. And then they tried to make an excuse because he's a very old man, Robert. He's a very old man, and we got to let him have concessions. Dude, this is what's happening in America. Let me give you some of the names of the players so you can Google it. The young man name is Jeffrey Turner. His name is, his boss is, they didn't give his boss name. It's on down in the article. I mean, it's unbelievable. He said he had so many of these words. So it was just like normal. And they tried to, they tried to brush it up, brush it under the rug. So, Chris, what do you think about it? What do you think?
I just, my thing is, obviously racial inclusion is a big deal right now. All right. And, I'm one that believes that diversity makes a corporation better. You get better ideas, you get chance for advancement. It makes a company thrive when you have people who come from different walks of life, who can challenge others. People feel better going to work every day. Living in a world or living in a city where, it's only one race or one type of people being represented, that's very difficult. And it stagnates growth. And it stagnates your mental capacity to understand the world and see it through a different lens. I've never been a part of a staff where a coach would even do something like that, because it would be a major problem. Right. Especially now, obviously a little bit different, but it's not different. The bottom line is, it amazes me how people are not pressed to grow. Like age has no bearing on it. I'm sorry. You see what happened to Jim Calhoun? He's trying to get around this lawsuit where they're saying he sexually harassed the young lady and, telling her to pick his stuff up, and he countered or saying that she was hot, or when guys say, stuff like, hey, sweetie, can you get me that? I'm like, yo, man, you cannot call them sweetie. Like, what era? This is a new era, man. This is Gen X era. We can't call women sweetie and honey. You can't do that anymore. And some of these older guys still think, well, there's no harm in that. There's no harm in me doing that. So, age is not an excuse in my mind. I'm sorry. And, gotta go, man.
Hey, Chris.
Gotta go. That's what we say. Gotta go.
Say no more. Well, Chris, we got Jesse on the phone right now. We couldn't get him on Skype, but we got him on the audio with Jimmy. I hate that. Jesse, are you there? This is Robert Hatter. What's up, big fella?
Hey, what's good, y'all?
Man, we better. We wanted to have you on the screen. And Jesse, it seems like Jimmy was scared to tell you. You got to understand, your name is not your name is, it's pretty common. So when I looked on the list, it had a lot of Jesse. So I'm calling Jesse Washington, and no one ever picked up on either one of those things. So I didn't know which Jesse Washington you was. So people would love to see you, but your voice is coming in loud and clear. So let's just start it. Welcome to the Chop Shop again, my brother.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and of course, Chris Walker's on it. If you just tuned into the Chop Shop, that's Jesse Washington from the Undefeated. Jesse, we get right into it on Tuesday. On yesterday, you penned a pretty good article about LeBron James and his China comments in the NBA. Take us into that article and what went into motivated you to go there.
Okay, that's a great question. And first thing is that I really respect and appreciate LeBron's social activism. He's a voice for the voiceless. He speaks up for people who cannot be heard normally. And so when Daryl Morey sent the tweet that he did, I said to myself, all right, they're going to ask LeBron in a minute what he thinks, and I hope he rises to the occasion. Now, the Hong Kong situation, a lot of people think that you need some sort of master's degree to figure it out. No, sir. Spend some time on Google, a couple articles. There's a very good article on Vox.com, which is 9 questions you wanted to know about Hong Kong and were afraid to ask. The basic bottom line of that situation is that China has human rights issues in their country. Human Rights Watch has cited a number of ways which they do not provide their citizens with the freedoms that all human beings deserve. It's not a political issue, it's a human rights issue. And so I really felt that, and one of those is free speech. China does not believe that y'all down there in Houston, y'all as general manager Daryl Morey, should be permitted to voice his opinion on what China is doing. China believes that that should not be tolerated. And in their own country, they prevent people from doing that or jail them, or they might disappear you permanently. We really don't know. So I think that what I was hoping was that LeBron would express support for the concept of free speech and human rights. But instead, he gave a rather unconvincing, I don't know enough about it to comment type of situation. And I think that was a little disingenuous. As we all know, LeBron has big business out of China. He's got a $1 billion Nike contract. The sneakers are made there. He sells a lot of sneakers there. He's been there 15 to 16 times. Aside from that, one of the big businesses that people have kind of not really looked at in this whole NBA China thing is that LeBron makes movies. China is a huge market for movies. This brother got Space Jam coming out in a minute, and Space Jam could make 9 figures in China. So I would have respected it if LeBron said, you know what, I got a lot of money things happening in China. I'm not really going to speak on it. I'm just going to fall back. That's cool. But don't act like you don't really know what's going on. And also don't act like Daryl Morey is the problem. He called him misinformed. That to me was the thing. So I was disappointed in an athlete who I respect and appreciate. I was disappointed in LeBron, and I felt that he could do better.
Get him. Go, Chris.
Come on, Jesse. Come on. It's Chris Walker. Come on, Jesse. Come on, man. You really feel that way.
Bring it on.
You really feel that way after Daryl Morey basically gave LeBron the right to say he was misinformed on the situation because he took the tweet back and said, I should not have done it. I've done more research. I mean, that's code for, I wasn't educated enough on the situation to make a tweet, which we know, Jesse, he actually was. Here's my problem. And I'm not saying I have a problem with what you wrote because, again, just like there's free speech, you have a freedom to write whatever you want. I'm a big LeBron fan just like you are. What was he supposed to say, Jesse? You
Yeah.
know they were going to say something to him. You know he was going to have to make a comment. He was in a no-win situation in my mind because no matter what, if he would have said this, they would have picked that apart. If he'd have said that, they'd have picked this apart. And more importantly, to LeBron's point, why do you have to make that comment? Why I think about this, Jesse. You're over in China and you're in a tense situation, and someone makes a comment that affects your safety, possibly. I know we probably think because they're rich, nothing will ever happen to them. But think about that. Like in effect, like why couldn't he have said that? You know, why the Rockets were in China, why Daryl Morey was there, he could have said that. And all I'm saying is, just because we have a right to free speech, does it mean that we should always use it? I mean, maybe I'm wrong in the minority there, Jesse, but should we always use it just because we have a right to do it? Is it always okay to use it?
And Jesse, in the piggy bout, you tell me. See, you got to realize you're Jesse Washington. You're not LeBron James. Okay? Always remember that. I'm just trying to figure out why you because I got the complete opposite. I'm not disappointed in LeBron James. And let me be very clear. I do not, Robert Hatter do not agree with China's position on Hong Kong. I do not, okay? If I was in Hong Kong, I would be riding and burning the streets just like those other people. But Jesse, what if LeBron said, I've been fighting for my people. I'm building schools, Jesse Washington. I'm using my resources to hope that my next generation, that I might not see it, but they be educated because the public schools are crazy. I had to build a school. So if I'm protecting my resources and my wealth over in China so I can build my wealth to continue doing this, Jesse, maybe, is it all right for LeBron James to say, that's not my fight? Is it all right for LeBron James to say, hey, man, I'm going to sit, I got other battles I'm fighting over here. Okay? I got battles. That's not my fight. Guess what? Just like if it's his right and Daryl Morey's right to have free speech, this guy has a right and you disappointed in his right. So I'm so sick of this cancel culture that since LeBron don't agree with what don't say it the way I want it to be said, then I'm disappointed in him. I'm not disappointed. Robert Hatter is not disappointed in him. He doing a whole lot of things that I am very proud of because he's not fighting over there in Hong Kong. That's the Hong Kong's people fight, Jesse. And that's just my point of view. And now you can respond.
Okay, cool. There's a lot to work with it. And I feel you. I understand what you're saying. And it is a complicated thing. So number one, I'm gonna go from the most recent and then I'm gonna roll it back.
Okay.
Number one, we're not asking LeBron to fight. We ain't asking him to picket. We ain't asking him to march. Bro, can you just can I just get a sentence? Can I just get a tweet acknowledging the fact of what it is? You know, and when you silence that, when you paper that over, that enables other human beings, millions and billions of human beings. You're not speaking up for them. And so, yeah, they're Chinese and we're American. I get that. But let me remind you, a year ago, LeBron tweeted out during Martin Luther King's holiday, he tweeted out one of King's most powerful and relevant quotes for today, which is, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Let me repeat that. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So what China does affects us over here, man. We're tied up with these cats. We can't live without them right now. We're talking over Chinese technology right now.
Wow.
China owns, how much U.S. debt does China own? We're in this together. The other part of that King tweet, that King speech, which came from the letter from a Birmingham jail. Let me give you a little context for that. Martin Luther King went to Birmingham, Alabama, and was arrested for protesting segregation. And a bunch of clergymen in that wrote a letter in the newspaper saying, King, what are you doing here? You're an outsider. This doesn't concern you. And King is like, nah, this does concern me. And he wrote, We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. We are tied in a single garment of destiny. And here's the kicker, Martin Luther King, letter from the Birmingham jail. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. So yes, LeBron is properly and justifiably and admirably helping those people in Akron. And I went there and did a big story about it 3 years ago. It was like, yo, this brother's putting on for his city in the most meaningful way. I get that. That does not prevent or preclude you from just saying, you know what? And so there's another question that you asked. What was he supposed to say?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you two options.
Okay.
First option is this. And again, just to say this, to give a sentence, to spend an hour on Google and read up and then say something does not prevent you from helping our people, nor should it. So he could say, number one, you know what? This is a tough situation. I have a lot of business in China, and I hope that you respect that I'm trying to keep that going. So I'm not going to comment. Okay, you could say that first. The second thing you could say is, I respect China. I respect their right to handle their country as they see fit. I got Chinese fans. I got Chinese brothers and sisters. I love y'all. However, here in America, we believe in freedom of speech. And even though I disagree with Daryl Morey, he has the right to say it, and I'm going to stand behind that. You know, and quiet is kept. That's what the commissioner, Adam Silver, said.
Jesse, they still would have killed him, Jesse. They still would have killed him. Did you hear what you just said?
Jesse, you know what, Jesse? Jesse, I got something for you. You can use this in the Undefeated. I got a new doctrine over here. And you know what it's called? And maybe LeBron is saying too, maybe it's called a mind your own damn business doctrine. You know, say it's okay to respect a national sovereignty and to say they have their fight over there. It's not our fight. And what I'm understand. People texted me this morning.
It's not Hong Kong. I'm not asking LeBron to jump on Hong Kong. I'm not taking no side from Hong Kong either. Stand up for human rights. You have to respect human rights. People have the right to vote. They have the right to have free speech. They have the right to worship whatever religion they feel without having their church knocked down or thrown in prison.
I understand, Jess.
And we all have a responsibility to speak up for that. We can't act like it's not happening so we could cake up.
Jess.
But can I say this? Let me say something real quick. Angel Verdejo on the feed says, let's call it what it is. Many people hold these athletes, LeBron especially, to a higher standard than our elected officials. It's not his job to be the face of America's social issues. So stop making him be that guy.
And I got another one, Jesse.
He asked for that job. He's chasing the footsteps of Ali. He says, I am more than an athlete. He's the face of the NBA. The NBA is in this business. So that is the job that he asked.
Jesse, hold on, Chris. He's more than an athlete. He's LeBron James. And Jesse, what if he just basically saying is, I pick my battles. And this, I'm not letting Jesse Washinton pick my battle. Let me pick. Hold up. Just like the game and he played last night. He played a game last night, Jesse. I know you watched the game. He might have saw an opportunity. I'm finna bring it to sports. He might have saw an opportunity to drive to the basket and take a shot. But he said, maybe this time I ain't going to take this shot. I'm going to pass this one to Anthony Davis. I'm going to pass this to Anthony Davis and let him take the shot. I'm not picking this battle. I'm going to rest for a minute. I mean, I'm not going to take every fight on, Jesse. Jesse, it seems like you, because he got a history of taking on fights, it seemed like you want him to keep fighting. But wait a minute. Ain't this America? Don't he have a choice of freedom to fight his own fight? Does he?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a level of degree. I'm not asking him to jump on the bandwagon and go to China and boycott a ticket. It's the same level of degree on the Lakers. Yeah. I got to make sure that AD gets them shots. Alex Caruso, I might give you one. That's all we're
Zero.
Let's call it what it is, LeBron. Call it what it is, man. And don't get me wrong, man. I'm a fan. I like the way he plays. I like what he's about. All of that. You know what I'm saying? And also, one of the things that I most respect about LeBron is that in the biggest mistake of his career, which is not this China thing, but it was the decision. This brother really took stock of himself, man. He's got a lot of self-awareness in that respect. And he was like, man, I made a mistake. I didn't handle that right. And I'm going to bounce back and I'm going to keep rising up. And he had. And so what I hope that, I think in our community a lot of times, we are hesitant to criticize ourselves or to hold ourselves accountable because we're so unfairly attacked by people from outside of our community. So we're second, of course. They've been coming at.
Say that again, Jesse.
Now say that again, Jesse, because I like that one.
I like that one. Say it again.
I've been trying to silence this guy. I'm not trying to silence him. I'm trying to encourage and inspire LeBron to be the global force for good that he has the potential to be.
Hey, Jesse, let me ask you a question. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly where I want to land. I said yesterday in this country that we live in, I know we don't want to go there. People don't want to hear this, right? We're talking about what's going on in China, and we get kids killed by police, unfairly incarcerated, disenfranchised neighborhoods, education, systemic racism, as far as the way fair education is handed out through our federal government or state governments. And we're worried about what's going on in China. I get what you're saying, but Daryl Morey now has been able to escape this conversation, and everything's directed at LeBron, who is actually doing something for his own people. He's uplifting his people, and we're attacking him for what's going on across the world. And dare I say, we can talk about the human rights issues that exist there, but I know when I get in my car and drive, I've been to China. I never worry about them stopping me. I never worry about mass shootings over there. I've been to China. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Russia. I know what I worry about in this country. So when people start talking like that, it makes me laugh because they don't even have the same attention span to what's going on here. And we're attacking LeBron for him not responding to what's going on there, Jesse. That's the danger in attacking LeBron.
Word up. That's true. And I want to make it clear. I hope that my column did not come across as an attack, trying to encourage and inspire.
Okay.
And so, but here's the thing. Yes, what you're saying, I think, is applicable for a lot of America. And a lot of America just wants LeBron to shut the hell up about everything. You know, I got emails off my article like, yeah, that was a good article. But you said that LeBron what he did with Trayvon was positive. I didn't like what he did with Trayvon, blah, blah, blah. So right. I'm not rocking with those folks. And for me personally, I do think that you have to look at where the critiques are coming from. And that if I've written 100 articles in the last 2 years, 98 of them have been about the problems that you described within our community. I'm a Black journalist working for a Black platform, The Undefeated, and that is my main concern. But when our lives do intersect with these other aspects, I think it's important for us to take a moment from our own struggle for freedom, which is not complete, and to speak up for the human rights of our Chinese brothers and sisters who are living in far more harmful situations in certain cases than we are. Right now, the government in that country is indiscriminately and arbitrarily locking people up in concentration camps because of their religion. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when the time comes for us to spend a day talking about that we can, and then we go back to taking care of these problems in the Black community at home. But yes, you make a good point. I think it's a matter of degree. And also, we have to separate the well-intentioned critiques of what LeBron is doing from the people who are trying to attack him and tear him down. And there's too many of those, straight up.
Now, you just tuned into the Chop Shop. We have Jesse Washinton of The Undefeated live with us, and he's sharing his thoughts, and of course, an exchanging dialogue, contrasting ideas between himself and, of course, Robert Hatter and the hater, Chris Walker. In case you don't know, Jesse, that's our monikers. I'm known as the Hat. I'm the Hat, right?
Jesse, say what's up to my boy Mark Spears. That's my dog, man. Don't let.
And Chris Walker.
That's the Don.
Chris Walker is the resident hater, and of course, just add another T in the middle of that, and you keep going and roll on. So the Hatter, and the hater. But now, Chris, to give you intel, Jesse, Chris was a college coach for over 2 decades. Most recently, this past spring at Cal Berkeley, and living in the Bay Area. That's what he just mentioned, to give you a shout out, for you to give a shout out to Mark Spears he was, saw him, I guess, frequently while living in the Bay Area. I want to ask you something, shifting gears, speaking of the Bay Area. As a result of this, and the thing that I noticed is that people that didn't like LeBron anyway, do you think that they're using this, LeBron's comments or lack of comments, or lack of the substance in his comments, as a way to just get the vent, to get something out of them that no matter what they were going to get out of him, whether they lost to Golden State Warriors in the first round of the playoffs, or they lost to the Houston Rockets in the second round of the playoffs, or the Clippers on opening night, or that's what I'm curious, because I'm seeing a lot of people, and most recently, Michael Rappaport.
Oh my goodness.
Goes and takes the pole and steps out on the plank and calls LeBron James fake. Now, the Michael Rappaport guys, a lot of you viewers out there, he's the guy that does the color commentary, pun intended, for the Big Three basketball league. So Ice Cube endorses Michael Rappaport, and he goes and he calls LeBron fake. LeBron is now playing for LA. We know guys like Ice Cube, the NWA, and everybody else, a lot of the culture loves the Lakers, and equally so love the Clippers as well now. But now you're going and calling them fake. What are your thoughts on that, Jesse?
I think that's whack, man. LeBron's not fake. And LeBron's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? LeBron has a track record that I respect of keeping it super 100. And so I think, and who's Michael Rappaport to comment on this, anyway? And I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't even think he's worth any more of my attention. But no, LeBron is not fake at all. LeBron is not perfect, and I do think that he has a lot of haters, a lot of critics, a lot of people who are upset and angered by his advocacy for racial justice, and so they're taking this opportunity to try and invalidate his previous work, which I don't think is possible. What the man's accomplishments, his school, his advocacy, his charitable work speaks for itself and can't be invalidated or denied. And so, it bothers me when people call him fake. I don't think he's fake at all. And I don't think that this, what is really happening right now is he is protecting his businesses.
There you go.
And that's not fake. That's American capitalism at work, And so it distresses me. I don't think that we need to attack people or tear them down when they make a mistake. I think that there's a way and a degree in which we could talk about it. And so certainly a lot of the criticism of LeBron comes from this anger at his advocacy. Mm-hmm. And I don't want us jumping to his defense to be confused with our feelings, like, who are we protecting about? Mark Jones, the great ESPN announcer, tweeted out yesterday or the day before yesterday and said, the same people who are saying that LeBron needs to shut up and dribble are the same people who are criticizing him right now for China. And yes, that is some of his critics, but it's not all of them. So let's not get it twisted. I think in our community, we do that a lot. We're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder as a community because of all the unfair racist attacks that we've received since our arrival in this country, and they're intensifying in this day. But there are a few things that we need to clean up within our community. Let's confront those without being too sensitive to over the criticisms that the way that people want to use that to say that we're less than. We're not less than, but we're not perfect either, the same as LeBron. So let's deal with it.
Hey, had a Melvin Dude said something in the boom room.
Hold on, Melvin Dude. Jesse, and I'm glad you said what you said, and man, thank you so much for coming on this show and clearing up this thing. Because right before the show, someone texted me, and the first thing, an African-American man, black man, first thing came out of his mouth is LeBron was wrong. And now he's on this Facebook feed talking about, I told you he was wrong. He was wrong. Jesse Washinton has not ever said anything about LeBron was wrong. And you can answer your own thing. Why do we want to see him being wrong? And he he keep hitting on the Facebook feed. LeBron is wrong. LeBron is wrong. How did he's wrong? I just asked him a question, Jesse. Tell me where he's wrong, and he ain't never gave me an answer to that question. So could you, to the people out there who talking about he's wrong, could you, from your position, could you explain? Could you talk to that? Talking about he was wrong.
About China is what you're saying.
About this whole thing. I mean, I don't know what he's saying. He just said LeBron is wrong. LeBron is wrong. LeBron is wrong. LeBron is wrong. He's a hypocrite. I just don't understand. And it's coming from some black folks now.
Okay, pause, Hatter. He's just about to explain and address. There's two different things: the wrong and the hypocrite. So, take a deep breath. Open up. So, because you asked for this.
Okay, cool. Let me address that. So, number one, I'm a hypocrite, right? So far be it from me, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So that's the context for what I'm saying. I'm not perfect. I contradict myself. I purchased Chinese, I purchased Chinese things and didn't, and wasn't on the internet going at China. So in that respect, I'm a hypocrite too. All right. So we're going to start there. I am not holier than thou. I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody else out here. Now, next point is that I think LeBron could have been more honest and to say, I'm not informed enough to form an opinion. I don't think that's honest. I think that's protecting your cash. And then at a certain time, we have to say, what is more important, the truth and human rights or our money? And Adam Silver said, I'm willing for the NBA to take a bit of a hit in order to say free speech is important and our employees can say what they want. China wanted Adam Silver to suspend Daryl Morey or fire him or penalize him or something like that. And Silver said, I'm not going to do that. Here in America, we stand for freedoms, including free speech. So I think that number one, LeBron could have been more honest. That was one place where I would say he was wrong. And then in the details, for LeBron to say that social media isn't the place to handle things is a little bit ironic because he built his primary method of communicating his messages and with his fans worldwide, including in China, is social media. But you know what? Let's not get it out of proportion here. None of us are perfect. And on balance, this is a hiccup for LeBron, but I do think that he did make some mistakes in that respect. And then in the last way, I'll only make one more point where I think that he could have done better. And that is to recognize that in a country where you make many, many millions of dollars, a company that makes your shoes and buys your shoes, a country where you said you have been 15 or 16 times to say the oppression, and violence against citizens and a repressive government, that doesn't concern me. That's none of my business. But you're getting bags over there, bro.
But you don't see that, Jesse.
Then you have to at least educate yourself about what's going on.
But Jesse, I've been to China. You don't see that when you go there. I've been to Shanghai. I've been all over that country. You don't see that when you go over there. That's what I'm saying. People act like you see people getting beat up on, and you do not see that. And so that's what I'm saying.
Because they censor the internet. Because they censor the internet.
No, I'm saying when I'm there personally, I don't see it.
You can't get on Google in China?
I know that. I've been to China. I know
Google in China.
I understand that, and that's their laws. But hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
They don't let people talk.
I get you, but
so they LeBron James. So LeBron James, more than an athlete, biggest athlete on the planet, felt intimidated into silence by this. So imagine what the average person in China feels like.
I understand that
because you tweet them and disappear you.
Yeah, but
I feel the issue really is here. It's not about Hong Kong. It's bigger than that.
Well, but here's the thing. They also have Alibaba and they don't have Google. They can't get stuff. They can't order stuff online the way we can. They got their own stuff over there. They got their own different things going on. But here's my point, though. They have. Let me finish. Does Yao Ming speak on black? Yeah. Hold on a second. Does Yao Ming?
Chris, don't you
Y'all,
interrupt Jesse.
no, tell Jesse don't interrupt me. Tell Jesse don't interrupt me. So
Jimmy,
Jesse,
get mad, you interrupt Jesse. Pause.
Hey Jesse.
Pause.
Hey Jesse, Yao Ming lived in Houston where Sandra Bland was. Yao Ming lived over here, and I'm sure he saw the injustice over here. I never hear him speak out about what's going on over here. He profited for what's going. What I'm saying is you're asking too much of these guys, man. You know what? Tell 45 to speak on it. Tell some of these our elected officials. How about tell Sylvester Turner? The fact that we're jumping on LeBron James for all the madness that we do in this country and stuff that we've been responsible for doing to other countries, and we're sitting up here talking about LeBron James and the culprit of all this, nobody don't even talk about it anymore. No one said a word about Daryl Morey, and we're jumping on LeBron James.
But you're talking to a man who spent the last 10 years of his career writing about all those injustices.
I know.
So yeah,
I'm with you.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice.
I know, but that's like saying that's like a basketball coach.
Jesse been doing good for 10 years. He said LeBron is. He's just wrong on this one.
That's wrong on this one.
Jesse, you just wrong on this one.
That's coach speak. Hey Jesse, that's coach speak.
I like you though.
That's like a head coach. That's like a head coach says, "Well, son, you got to play hard." He's like, "Well, what does that mean, coach?" I don't know. That's coach speak. I get what Martin King was saying, but at the end of the day, come on, Jesse, we got to stick with LeBron on this one, man. I'm sorry. You in my opinion, I respect your work. You do a great job. I think you open him up for those people to be like, "See, Jesse said it too." I'm just telling you, that's how I feel.
And Jesse, I read all of your articles, man. I'm talking stuff, but Jesse Washington, I love the undefeated, right? But guess what? You just struck out this time, Doc. It's all right.
Hey, Jesse, can I ask you a question? Hey, Jesse, I want you to write an article on how 3 black coaches went to jail and the NCAA did not, and the federal government did not allow, the judge did not allow the other coaches to be interviewed, because if he did, it would have turned this whole fiasco on his head. Why haven't y'all wrote about that? Or why haven't y'all wrote about the fact that there's
article about black consistent coaches are the fall guys for all the big white head coaches. We know that.
Hey, Jesse,
written that.
Jesse, they need to put you on, but you know what they need to do, Jesse? Instead of putting Michael Rappaport clown butt on Fox, instead of Stephen A. got the biggest voice, they need to put you on there so you can talk about that, because stuff like that doesn't get talked about. That's where the LeBrons of the world come from. That's why they hate stuff so much.
You're right. Yeah, I feel ridiculous. And you're right. And you know, I just I get it, bro. I get it. And I'm never gonna allow. I think that one of y'all said something very important. I'm opening up the criticism so that they can get at LeBron. By me saying it, I'm like co-signing the racists who are coming after LeBron. You know what I mean? And I understand that, and I think that we can't let them dictate how we handle our own business. Okay. I'm never going to let somebody else's opinion, who's ignorant, just because they might say something, that's in my lane. I got to go with my heart, and I feel for my Chinese brothers and sisters. And as much hell as us Negroes is catching over here in America, as much hell as we are catching, and it will continue to catch, they catching it too.
Yes.
And if I can say something, or if I can do something to help those brothers and sisters over there, I don't feel that they're far disconnected from me. You know what I mean? Like, I got an uncle who a black man who lives over in China now. That never would have happened in my father's day. He's been over there for 5-10 years. He speaks Chinese. He's in Chinese movies. I got another dude. I mean, we know how many basketball players are over in China right now. I got 2 or 3 homies hooping over in China right now. So they're not as far as we think. And I get it. It is easy and understandable for us to say, man, we got to get this right over here. And we got to just focus on this problem that we have and getting our people right in America.
Jesse,
with China as well.
Hey, Jesse, and to me, that's the angle I would have loved for you to have taken. I can't tell you what to write. You say, hey guys, I'm trying to lead the witness, like the attorney said. I would have taken that moment to be like, hey guys, you 45 lovers are focused on LeBron James because you want him to shut up and dribble, and you're giving Daryl Morey a pass. And while y'all talking about all the injustice and human rights issues going on over there in China, let's talk about what's going on over here. And if you'd have done that, Jesse, you might be on this feed with us, and they'd have cut your water off. So I understand why you didn't do it, because you worried about your money, like LeBron worried about his money. So let's not throw rocks and hide our hands, okay?
Man,
I feel you, man. And you know what? I feel you, and I love what y'all are doing. I love what y'all are saying, and I think that this type of fearless conversation is really what we need. The fact that y'all are willing to let me come on y'all show and talk about this thing, you know, y'all are the problem solvers. You know what I mean? And so I just appreciate how y'all come to it.
No, it's all good. It's all love, man. It's all love, man.
Thank you for your time. Of course, Jesse, give them your social media handle so they can follow you on Twitter or.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Well, first of all, shout to Houston. My first two children were born in Houston. I love Houston.
Oh, okay, wow, I didn't know that.
And I spent my wife was educated in Houston. Spent 4 or 5 years down there. You know, where I met Brother Hicks. You know, the Hatter. You know, his hat game has come a long way since then. I'll just say that.
And you just met the hater today. And you just met the hater today.
At Jesse Washington. At Jesse Washington, JESSE Washington, and on Instagram at Jesse John Washington. Love y'all.
Wait a minute, Jesse. You say your first 2 kids were born in Houston. How many kids you got?
Yeah. Man, I got 4 kids, baby.
We gonna get you some kids. We gonna get you some tablets, man. You need some tablets.
Jesse be putting in work.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank
Good
you,
stuff.
man. I love, boy, you my man.
Watching my son Coltrane Washington, D1 baller, Drexel University. My daughter. Coming up. We taking over, baby. Washington. We taking over.
Hey, Jesse, just so you know, they gonna get the water cut off and head beat off when they play Villanova this year. Just so you know that.
Hey, who you rocking with tonight, Jesse? Give us your prediction on the game.
Man, we
tonight.
go with the Yankees, baby. I'm from
You know what, hey, Jesse? I changed my mind on everything I said, Jesse. You my guy now, Jesse. I changed my mind. You my guy now.
Jesse, no.
Oh God. Boy, they done brainwashed my man up there. Hey man, thanks a bunch, man. That's Jesse.
Hey, Jesse, man, you the man.
Make sure you follow him on social media. That's JESSE Washington on Twitter, on all social media platforms. Undefeated. Thanks a bunch, Jesse. We appreciate you, man, for your time, man. Great dialogue, and keep up the good work. That's Jesse Washington, guys. And as you guys see, the Chop Shop, that's what we do.
Amen.
On Baby Friday. We bring it to you, and that's why we ask you guys, if you social issues, and if it's hot, we're going to reach out to people. Now, a lot of people don't want to come on the Chop Shop because they know what it pertains. They know, you know. I mean, I understand it. You realize because it can be embarrassing to some to come on there. They don't have a teleprompter to read off of. They don't have a person with cue cards. They don't have a bunch of notes because we're not sending them the questions that we're about to ask. This ain't the Chop Shop. So if Jesse coming on, it's not like Jesse, we're gonna talk about this. No. Jesse, come on the Chop Shop, talk with us, and spin your article.
You see, Jimmy protected him. Jimmy knows I was going to go right in on Jesse. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you for pausing me, because I had some more for Brother Jesse now. Don't you ever think, Mr. Hamilton, because you come in this Chop Shop, I got this much, Jimmy. Hold up, I got this much left.
Listen, you asked that man to explain to you how LeBron was wrong. He gave you an answer, and he gave you two cases.
No. I wanted to keep, Jimmy, I don't talk like you. I give multiple questions. That's a journalist. He can listen. Guess what? He get paid to listen. So he can answer multiple questions. That's the way I talk. I don't talk like you, and I'm going to never talk like you. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm talking about. I just explained to you. You asked him questions, and the question specifically was.
You don't have to tell. Hey, me and Jesse can work that out. We don't need Jimmy. We don't need Jimmy. But hold up. That's a pro on the other end of that phone. That was a pro. So he can handle. Hold up. He can handle a little guy like me.
And he answered. He did. He
They
answered
can
you.
handle it. No, because I had some more. Pause,
Oh,
Howard. Pause, Chris. Pause, Chris. I had. Hey, you know what?
No, we got him good enough. We got him good
No.
enough.
You
Howard.
know
We
what I
got him.
want to tell him? Jesse, I would agree with you, but then both of us would be wrong. And hey, so believe you me, hey, I'll be here all week.
so in earlier,
Y'all crazy, man.
during the conversation, something that came up because a lot of you guys out there may not. We touched on it, and it made me think about something, and that is we brought up the Michael Rappaport name. And he's the white guy that you guys saw on the Big Three with the microphone, trying to, you could see it. And sometimes it'd be awkward moments. A lot of times it was kind of awkward moments. You see the white guy trying to fit in. And the Big Three gave Michael Rappaport cool points, and often periodically in recent years, we've had white guys that would be, go up under that umbrella. That's the cool white guy. And then eventually that white guy will slip up and say something that make the room get quiet, and you'll be like, oh, did he just say that? So, and what I'm getting at is other white guys that fit that personification during the last couple of decades, for example, would be like an Eminem, right? Remember Eminem? Eminem was that cool white guy that black folk often gave a pass to when they would say something that would be at or below the line, the belt. Justin Timberlake, the old guy, I can't remember this guy's name. I want to think it was Stretch. Used to be the rap group Third Base. Remember him? Remember what I'm talking about? And what's that? What is Ice Baby? Vanilla Ice.
What about White Chocolate? Remember White Chocolate?
Jason Williams. White Chocolate was one. Another one. Then eventually you notice all of them will fade on because after that flavor of the day is no longer tasty. It's going on. Now Michael Rappaport is going to be. I haven't read or have you guys? I've heard what Ice Cube responded because I'm quite sure people don't know what Ice Cube has to say because that's his employee.
I got a response. And Jimmy, what I'm learning, out of touch people and white people would say he compare himself to Muhammad Ali. Michael Rappaport came out of his mouth. He said that LeBron James can't hold Ali's jockstrap. But hold on, Chris. Chris, help me. Chris, you can join in. I don't mind. If you recall, Muhammad Ali is the one that said, ain't no Viet Cong call me nigga, right? So I think LeBron's statement should have been, ain't no Hong Kong people call me no nigga. Ain't nobody in Chinese or China has called me a nigga. That's not my fight. That's not my battle. I'm not going overseas with you to fight a battle in Asia. And I ain't got nothing to do, that ain't got nothing to do with the people I love and the people I care about. The battles that LeBron, I think, was choosing, the battle in the hood. The battles he talking about are not going to be these white liberal fights, y'all. They're going to be black fights. When LeBron, Trayvon Martin, that started it. Sandra Bland, Michael, the other kid,
Michael Brown,
the Michael Brown, the Ferguson though. Those I see what happens to many black celebrities. Y'all, I've watched this just being around Hollywood and being around this stuff. They get politically hijacked by right liberals who say, "Hey man, we don't want y'all to talk about racism. We don't want y'all to deal with that. We don't want you to talk about climate change. No, excuse me. We want you to talk about climate change. We don't want you to talk about them kids getting shot in the hood in Chicago. We want you to talk about the LGBT members so they can use the same bathroom." Jimmy, that's what's happening. That's why the Michael Rappaports. But what happens is when you know your job, when you know that this your job, and LeBron does, you can't take on every battle. Jimmy, if you worked at Chick-fil-A, You can't be protesting at work every day and talking about you protesting every day. Guess what? You're going to get your black butt fired. This is something that I'm just not interested in, Jim. The battlefield, it's not a battlefield, LeBron saying, that I want to die on. It might be a hypocritical position for a lot of y'all, say, where he say, he just not fighting that battle. And I just hate when people call him wrong, but you're the same people that's talking about freedom of speech. You're the same people. Freedom of speech. Don't he have the freedom? Chris, does he have the freedom to choose which battle?
Nah, man.
He's battling, and it kills me. It just killed me when us's. And I ain't saying LeBron. Guess what, Chris? I have been one of LeBron's chief critics. Have I even
no
call
doubt.
guys like you brunsexuals because he can't do no wrong. But in this particular case, I'm just sitting here. I sit in. I studied it. This is not his battle. He want to fight. He want to say it's like Jimmy. He's stacking up his poker chips, right? Just stacking them up. He's stacking up his political clout, his political and his financial war chest, so he can fight the battle over here with our kids, man. That's what that guy's doing. Go watch what he's doing. Instead of worrying about what he said about Hong Kong. So that's it, Jimmy.
And given who we got in the office right now, to even be talking about LeBron is absolutely asinine, to be honest with you. You know, we got a president who's up for being impeached. Who said he say he can do what in the middle of what? New York? What did he say?
He can shoot somebody in the middle of Broadway, and his followers gonna still rock with him.
And we worried about what LeBron is saying? Come on, guys. Yeah, if y'all can't see that play from a million miles away, I'm sorry. I can't do anything to help you. What else you got, Jimmy? Talk to me. Because, by the way, them Lakers did take care of business last night. I'm just letting y'all know that's just an omen for what's to come. I don't even know who playing on Thursday night football because I was so happy that the Lake Show took care of business. That's all I got to say.
On preseason basketball, really?
Now, listen, man. Listen.
Preseason basketball.
Did they take score?
Jimmy?
Did they take score? Did they put uniforms on?
Oh, man.
Did they take score? Did they put uniforms on? That's all I'm saying.
Hello, Chris.
Did they take score?
Hey, Chris.
What's the Lakers' record in preseason right now?
Come on, man.
Know what your reply? I'm gonna tell you what your reply gonna be. I'm gonna reply for you. It don't matter.
Hey, Chris. Jimmy did me like this before. Jimmy told me, C.J. Anderson. We talking about C.J. Anderson. And CJ went off and just almost helped them guys get to the Super Bowl. So Jimmy does that time to time. But Jimmy, I'm gonna tell you, Chris, you're right, because we just came off a high with Jesse. But the lead story on First Take this morning, they told me, somebody just texted me, was LeBron in the Lakers and Anthony Davis. Hey, I don't want to say this, but they look real scared. I don't like it.
I'm just letting y'all know, man.
Understand something. This is the reason, and people that question when the word LeBron, this is the price of being the best. The price that is sacrificed of being the best is going to be criticism from all angles every day. That's the price of being the best. And guess what? LeBron can handle it. He can handle it. You know how he handled it? He made another comment on yesterday that says, then he's quoted on the press conference after the practice. He says that I'm not speaking on that topic again. So understand. Either you can go and keep digging yourself or keep trying to fight it with words, and you're not going to beat the ink. So all you can say, you give them a politely and just let them know, hey, look, guys, that's it. I'm not speaking on it. I'm done with that topic. Because it's done. So guess what? He can handle it. So speaking of NBA basketball, how about the fact that speaking of Washington Wizards and Bradley Beal have reportedly agreed to a 2-year $72 million extension. Bradley Beal was expected and projected to be one of the top free agents in the 2020 class. Bradley Beal has agreed to that deal, and understand something. This deal that Bradley Beal has agreed to, right, is going to begin the 2021 season, right? Not after this season, but after the season after that, right? And it has a 2022-23 player option, right? That can keep him out of free agency for 3 more seasons. It can guarantee him $130 million over 4 years. My point is, if Bradley Beal in that 4 years, if he declines the player option at that point, right, he will have reached 10 years of service with the same program. Remember, this new rule that they came out in the collective bargaining agreement, and he'll be one of the first to exercise it in such fashion, which at that point, he can go and get another extension, which will make him what could possibly be the largest contract in NBA history, which will be 5 years, $266 million to dribble a basketball and shoot it in the orange basket.
Hey, Jim, hey, Hatter, how much is that as Chinese money?
And ain't never won nothing.
Ain't gonna win nothing. Hey, but Jimmy and Hatter, how much is that Chinese money? Because we got 500 million viewers over on the other side, and y'all talking about LeBron. I mean, the players are looking at y'all like, man, y'all better leave LeBron alone, man.
You just said that's the price. That's the sacrifice.
I get you, but
guess what?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Adam Silver, Jesse said something real key. He said Adam Silver stand up for the players' right to have free speech. If one of them players got up and said, "Look, man, I think it's okay for me to beat up on women and do what I want to do," that's free speech, right? Isn't that free speach?
It comes with consequences, though.
And he would get punished, wouldn't he? And they would punish him, and they would probably kick him off the team and get him out the league. Y'all got to be, y'all killing me on this free speech stuff.
But it comes with consequences. You still have to
right back, Chris, to this. But you know what? Here's the point. Somebody just said, here's another point. And I was just thinking about this day, because we constantly talk about this stuff. If a man is getting up every day and he is playing basketball for a living, right? Play basketball. You can't get mad at him because you don't want to play football. I think that done went over everybody's head. Chris, he should have said this. He should have said that. He didn't want to. And then he said, "Look here, I'm not talking about this mess no more. Because whatever I say, you clowns gonna have." I know what he's saying. Because that's how I feel. You clowns gonna have something to say. So guess what? I'm just gonna go out here and whoop the Warriors without Stephon Curry, because I know he ain't gonna be there tonight. So I can go show out tonight. That's what he said last night, Chris.
Stop it.
Wink, wink.
Stop it.
Wink, wink.
Don't forget we represent Draymond. Don't forget Draymond playing for the other team now.
That man said
he's a clutch client. He's a clutch client.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, he's a clutch client.
Guess who else is a clutch client, Chris? You haven't been keeping up with your clutchness.
Who?
Yusuf Nurkic. Yusuf Nurkic.
Really?
Yes. He just signed with Clutch Sports. Guess what, y'all? Hey, he just signed. A white European signed with Clutch Sports. But, Chris, I know you wanted to. I know Jimmy thinking about topics, but Jimmy and Chris, I know you want to say something about Jalen Ramsey.
What about what Deion? What about what Deion said,
man,
Jimmy?
Deion,
what did Deion say? Why you got to call Deion Sanders a clown? I don't get it. Why Deion a clown?
Tell him what he said.
He said he won't be there more than a year. That's exactly what he said.
And he gave a reason to an opinion to understate, support his comment. He gave an opinion
because of the taxes.
He gave an opinion and he gave a fact to support his opinion.
What was the fact?
That don't mean to make his opinion right.
What's the fact?
But the fact is that the state tax in California is is a huge difference than what's coming out of.
I know that for a fact.
Hey, that don't make them kind of players leave. Jimmy.
No.
I think
That's,
you know them.
I mean,
I'm telling you, that don't make them players leave and want to go nowhere else.
Understand something. What Deion also said was that when he was in that situation to leave as a free agent, the Oakland Raiders offered him the most money, the biggest contract, right? And he turned it down because he wanted to play in Texas.
Well,
of course,
what?
the Cowboys.
That's his opinion. Because Stephon Kerr said he want to leave. LeBron moved out there. Excuse me. Hold on, Jimmy. You just ran your mouth. Hold on. You just ran your mouth. You just ran your mouth. LeBron moved.
Contract.
LeBron moved there. Excuse me.
He got a billion, Hatter. LeBron got $1 billion.
Ain't the same. That ain't valid.
Moved there.
That ain't valid for LeBron. You somebody else. Think of somebody else, not LeBron. You think of somebody else.
Yeah, don't
on
say
their first contract. On their first contract. They're going to California.
Man,
on your first contract.
First contracts.
Guess
what? Hold up, excuse me, Jimmy. I'm finna help you because you're just running your mouth. Let me help you. By the time his first contract gonna be over, young Mr. Man, by the time next year when they can do his contract and he residents of LA, his first contract will be over. He will be in his veteran deal. So, where my mic at? Drop it.
He got another year left, Hatter. He got 2020 left.
Jimmy, by the time his residence is not going to be established immediately. Jimmy Hicks, his home is still wherever he lives. They got the established residency. Come on. That's why I say y'all quit listening to clickbait.
Hatter, by the time the contract his deal is in 2021. He will have established residency by 2021, right?
I'm telling you right now, he gonna get a deal.
We're not saying he ain't.
So he will be in his veterans deal. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You talking about he's a rookie deal? No, he won't be. He will be in his veterans deal by the time. Or guess what? He'll be out of there. So
that's what he's saying.
That's what I just said. That's what Deion was saying.
All I'm telling you is that ain't got nothing to do with it. It's meant, okay, Jimmy. It's first year guys playing for. Hold up. It's first year guys, Jimmy, and rookies playing for the Rams, playing for the. Hold up. For the Rams. For the
49ers.
Chargers. Hold on. Can I finish? For the Sacramento Kings. For all of them. Only that's California. They ain't left. Y'all thinking they ain't left? Y'all thinking I'm not going to California?
You're switching the whole text of what's just been said. What has been said is if a person has an option, that's what we taking from what Deion said about this young man. If he is a free agent, if he's going into free agency, or that deal is about to expire, he has the option to accept what the Rams are going to offer him. First of all, they got to offer it. And of course, they made all these trades for 2 first rounders and the 4th rounder for him. For them to offer that, he will have the option to accept it or not. Now what Deion is saying, what I'm getting out of what Deion is saying is that if all things are equal, and he has the option to just take that LA deal, or if there's another deal on the table to go to New Orleans, to go to Dallas Cowboys, or go to a state with no state tax, then guess what? He may choose to do so. That's all. He just giving his opinion based on, and that would be the reason. That means that some players, maybe not all of them, some players definitely factor that into their decisions. That's what I got out of what Deion's saying. That don't work for every player. Each his own. Some players some players never lived in California. That's their dream. They'd be willing. Now, what I did get out of the article is that a lot of teams will buff up the bonus money to offset the 13% state tax in California. So is that true?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. All I'm
That's
telling you,
hold
that
on.
don't deter.
Let me ask you again. Let me ask you again. Let me ask you again.
I got another. I'm gonna redirect.
No. Let me ask you again then, since you didn't know what I'm talking about. Do in California, does some contracts is the bonus money buffed up higher
I never heard of that.
to offset?
Because you're still gonna get taxed on that money too. You're still gonna get taxed on that money.
Well,
Mr. Smartass, you're still going to get taxed on that money. All I'm trying to tell you, Jalen Ramsey has got an opportunity to play for Stan Kroenke. Do you know who Stan Kroenke is? Chris Walker and Jim Hicks.
He got a lot of money.
And guess what? He got a wife.
He married into a lot of money.
Excuse me. Named Ann Walton.
Yes, he's married into a lot of money.
You know who Ann Walton is?
Walmart.
Thank you. So guess what? They got a new stadium about to get built. They need guys like that on their team. Let me tell you something. Deion Sanders, Stan Kroenke ain't gonna let that guy get out of there. That's all I'm trying to explain. I don't care how much money you worry about taxes, if they're gonna give you a bonus. Stan Kroenke gonna make it happen. And Jimmy, and guess what? Guess what? Maybe he will use it in bonuses. I don't know what he's gonna do. All I'm saying, he's a very, very rich man that got to fill up a stadium out there in L.A., in Inglewood. So guess what? That kid ain't nowhere in the world. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave there.
We all know, based on his performance this season, trust me, it would move the needle towards it or away from it based on what Jalen Ramsey does this season in an L.A. Ram uniform.
Jimmy,
the bottom line.
Imagine if you was Wade Phillips, Chris. Wade Phillips, right? You come into practice today. Today went Thursday. You come into practice today, right? You got Aaron Donald at defensive end. You got Jalen Ramsey that can guard and play man-to-man on any number one receiver in the league and dominate him. I bet you, Chris, I heard Chris. Have you looked? His back didn't healed up. Miraculously didn't heal. He must have went out there to a Faithful Central and let Bishop Blake touch his back because his back has miraculously healed. And all I'm trying to tell y'all is that kid all right. That's why I said I shouldn't have called him a clown. That stuff that Deion was saying, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
So it's not possible that he would choose something else.
Anything possible, Chris, but it might not be likely. I'm just saying. Let Jalen Ramsey speak for Jalen Ramsey.
Well, we know one thing about Jalen Ramsey. If things ain't going right,
he gonna cry.
We know he knows how to get the hell out of a team. We know he knows what to do. He can.
Okay, Chris. Okay, Chris. Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker. Okay, Jimmy Walker.
What do you mean?
You know what? I'm finna flip the screen so y'all can be together. I'm finna flip the screen so I can put y'all together.
My back hurting, boss.
I got a little twinge. My back.
I'm swapping the screen. So yeah, I got y'all. Yeah.
So that's and of course, speaking of NFL football, it's almost time for the NFL picks for the games weekend. Of course, Hatter and Chris Walker will be going head to head. Brace yourself there, but first, want to get in there. Want to give a shout out and give you some news that on a heartwarming, great side. We'd be remiss if not to mention that Michael Jordan unveiled the first of 2 medical clinics in Charlotte, North Carolina, and this took place in an emotional ceremony, which as Mike approached the podium, tears were streaming down his face, and the medical industry, once we start to infiltrate that thing wholeheartedly, Robert Horry Sports Medicine and Rehab down in H-Town, they've been doing a great job infiltrating that medical field. And they see, and speaking of medical, the medicinal is medical. So a lot of star athletes and former stars have invested into that sector. But you notice once we start to getting into this medical field,
I got something for y'all.
With all this stuff going on, what you got?
I got something for y'all. I was watching Jalen and Jacoby the other day. They had Matt Barnes on there.
Oh my God.
Jalen just said, "Hey man, I know a lot of y'all smoke, man. Tell me about the smoking in the league." Matt Barnes said he been smoking since he was 14 years old. And then he was telling little cheeks how he was getting past. He said, "I know when I was gonna get tested. And I cleaned myself out. I ate right. I did it and did it." He said, "Hey, we got 3 strikes. I was on 2.5." He said, "Yeah, I smoke." And he said, "I'm not gonna put it out there, but guess what? There's some other things we use that we ain't getting caught on." Jimmy, those dudes are, for him to come out and say that, the man said he been smoking. He said, but guess what? It relaxes him. He said they used to give him Vicodin, that stuff and all that. What's that stuff that people getting hooked on? What's the stuff that the white people? Huh?
What do you mean? Oxycodone? Oxycodone. Yeah.
Okay. He said they used to give him that, and that used to make him sick. He said, "Boy, he go get him the right joint. He's straight."
I know one thing. He didn't have a wife catcher. I know he didn't get that. He didn't get that memo. I know that. He didn't get that memo.
Dude,
he didn't get that.
You know what happened?
Show? Whatever.
No. After that show, he was done with her before. He didn't take Derek Fisher didn't take her. He was done with her.
Why was he chasing after Fisher then?
Because he's over there messing with his kid. Hold up. Driving his car. Tell him,
Jimmy. Car was still in his name. That car was still in his name.
Driving his car. Yes. Yeah. Let somebody drive your little car.
Negroes get that car my name, man. You ain't gonna be flossing. And you know how it is when y'all messing with us at the sports bar. Hey man, that dude driving your car, man, in your name, man, with fingers on the steering wheel with an elbow on the door. Yeah. In your name.
That's why he was
in the car. He flipped over. You remember that's the car? He flipped over in the car.
So he wrecked the dude's car too? Speaking of car wrecks, Errol Spence, man. DWI. Come on, man. DWI, not wearing a seatbelt and drinking.
Chris.
In a Ferrari.
Chris. I said this the other day, Chris. Those cars not made for everybody. You know, Chris, Jimmy, I was leaving the show one day. I was leaving somewhere and going to the show one day and went a place that I don't usually go. And Jimmy, everybody know I don't drive fast. And I got a ticket. I'm the slowest driving dude in the world to be riding around in sports cars. I don't understand. I know the power that they have in these cars. And the actor, what his name, Paul, the actor who played in the Fast and the Furious, Paul Thomas, is that his name? He got killed in a Ferrari. See, y'all, them Ferraris they're built for racing. You know, we just bring them over here and think they cute, but those things, man, you gotta learn how to drive those things, man. I'm telling you. And the guy, it went out of control and flipped over, threw him out. Is he all right?
What about the drinking? Yeah, he got some teeth knocked out and stuff. But what about the DWI though? Coach, he was driving while intoxicated.
Coach, a lot of y'all drive while y'all intoxicated. I ain't calling no names, but a lot of y'all who drive. That's why they call me the designated driver. Hey, Rob, come get me. Come, God. Thank God for Uber. Cause y'all a lot more.
You know, I leave a car in a heartbeat.
Oh, Jimmy leave a car in a heartbeat. He don't want to be on the news.
Well, you got to realize my ideology is a little bit shifted than most. My thing is this: I pay all this money for insurance. Hell, I need a claim every now and then. I'll leave that car there. Take it. Do what you want to do with it. Steal it. Break into it. Do whatever. But if you do it wrong, I'm gonna help you out. If you break it one, I'm gonna break the other 3. If you break, I'm just gonna tell you. If you put one tire on flat, I'm gonna put the other one on flat. We're gonna get a claim out of this deal, and I'm gonna take it to my man Billy. And shout out to Billy, baby. Billy, Billy, take care of you, baby.
Boy, that's my favorite dude in the world.
I'm telling you, man. And hey, guess what? Now it's that time, guys, for the
What time?
NFL picks between Hatter and Chris Walker. The standings are as, trust me, Chris Walker's only won one game. Right?
I mean, he's had a one.
Hatter can tie with you and have a tiebreaker.
Nickname Goose Egg.
Could I put a disclaimer out? I'm just doing this just to please y'all. I don't like this rule. I don't like this new rule. I whooped this dude 2 years in a row. He gonna change the rules on me. I can't.
Guess what, Hatter? Guess what? That's what Phoenix Suns said about the lottery in the NBA. They don't like this rule. They get a lottery ball every year. You gonna keep on?
Come on. Bring it on, Cletus. Bring it on.
Okay, tonight's game, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
Who's going first? Whoever, Kansas City Chiefs, the Denver Broncos. You going first? But Kansas City is giving up 3. Who you taking?
I'm going.
Now, have in mind.
I'm going with Mahomes. Mahomes.
So you go. Hatter's taking Kansas City.
So I get 3 points.
You have Denver in 3. Next up,
Denver.
You got the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts, and the line has the Colts by 1. Wow. Remember, the Colts beat the Texans at home. In Houston.
But the Lions are tough at home with that defense, man.
The Lions.
Who'd you say? Who'd you say? The Colts and who?
The Colts and the Houston Texans.
Oh, the Colts and the Texans. Ooh, two brothers. That's 2 brothers.
Chris, hold on, Chris. Do me a favor. Don't you let me. I don't want to cheer against my team, man. I ain't gonna let you cheer against that old terrible team of yours. So I'll switch it around. So be mindful when you make this pick.
So y'all can make a deal right now.
Just be mindful when you make this pick.
Chris want to automatically take the Cowboy game and pick next, and
it don't matter. It's a 1-point spread. He can pick. Let him have it. I'll take the Cowboy game.
Oh, okay. So
I got
it's on you. The Houston Texans has 1 point.
I got the Texans.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So Chris, the Dallas Cowboys.
Is that Indianapolis, Hatter, by the way? But keep going.
I don't care.
Dallas Cowboys is hosting the Eagles.
Ooh, good game.
That's a 7:20 game.
Okay. And game of America.
Both teams are 3-3, and Dallas is giving up 3 points.
Whoa, we'll take that. 20-17 win. We'll take that.
Ooh,
No, that ain't gonna make you win, Chris. You need to be 21-17.
That's right, 21. You're right about that. I need 21-17. I still take that.
Next up is Halliburton, Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo is giving up 17 points to the winless Dolphins.
Oh, sorry, Josh Allen. What you got, Hatter?
17 points. Miami got 17.
Yeah.
I'm going with Miami today. I'm finna go with Miami.
Okay, that's a smart bet. I actually think that's a smart one.
Chris, you have Buffalo, and you're minus 17. Next up, Chris Walker, the Arizona Cardinals at the New York Giants. And the Giants are giving up 3 points.
Ooh, I'll take the Giants.
Chris has the Giants. Hatter has Arizona.
I love it.
Next up, Hatter.
What?
The Oakland Raiders are 3-2 on the season. Okay. They will be visiting Green Bay Packers, which are 5-1. Mm-hmm. Green Bay is giving up 5.
Green Bay.
Yeah, because they're going to cheat anyway. You're right about that.
Green Bay.
Next up, Chris, the Los Angeles Rams, they're 3-3.
Struggling, though.
And guess who else? They're playing a team that's really struggling.
Ooh.
The Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons, 1-5.
Ooh. What's the line?
And the Rams are giving up 3 on the road.
Damn.
Who you got?
I gotta go with the Rams.
No.
They struggling. I gotta go with the Rams.
Because they got, you know why, Jimmy? They got Jalen Ramsey.
Oh my God. But yes, they do though.
Come on.
You know what? They're gonna pick on him all day. You know, Talik is out now, right?
Yeah.
The other cornerback.
Yeah. You don't pick on guys like this.
Nah, they're not gonna pick on him.
That's
they're
like
not
picking on LeBron. So they pick on LeBron.
Nah.
Okay. All
right, no, you're right. They ain't gonna pick on. But this boy ain't got nothing to lose. They ain't nothing to lose. The Dirty Birds. They gonna pick on. They gonna do what they can. Minnesota at Detroit, right? Minnesota and 2. Detroit is 2-1. Minnesota's giving up 1 point on the road. Who you got?
Just me, right?
Yeah.
Detroit gonna beat them.
So you're taking Detroit?
Yeah, Detroit gonna beat them.
Chris, you have Minnesota, and you're giving up. You're a -1. All right.
Minnesota.
Jacksonville at Cincinnati.
Oh, that's an ugly game.
Are playing the Cincinnati Bengals. Jacksonville, of course, this season they are sitting at 2-4, while Cincinnati is 0-6. One of what 2 teams in the league hadn't won a game yet. And the line, Jacksonville is only giving up 3.5.
I will take the Bengals.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll take the Bengals. It's the line. I'm playing the line. I'm not playing the game. Come on now.
So how do you have Jacksonville at -3?
What his name? Minsu. What his name?
Yeah, okay. No, his name is Ginsu. That's what it is.
Gardner Minshew. All right, what's the next?
How San Francisco 5-0 at the Washington Redskins 1-5. Frisco is giving up 9.5.
You know, I'm going with porn star Jimmy.
Really? So how does taking Frisco and giving Chris, you will have 9.5.
9.5?
9.5.
Okay. I'm going
Chris,
with porn star Jimmy.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot to give up on that road. The Chargers, the LA Chargers are 2-4 on the season, and they're at Tennessee. Tennessee Titans.
Terrible. Quarterback change.
Hey, Ben, man.
What's the line?
The line is Tennessee by 2.
And who did? Oh, no. I'm definitely taking the Chargers on that one.
Remember, the Tennessee has made a quarterback change. Mariota's been benched.
Right. I'm taking the Chargers. No question.
So Chris is taking the Chargers.
So hold up. I get 2 points?
You got 2 points. Okay. No.
I got
no. You're giving up 2 points.
Tennessee is?
Yeah.
Wow.
They both 2-4.
No, but Chargers is a better team. Okay, Chris, what's the next one?
The next one, Baltimore at Seattle. Ooh, that's the game of the week. That's a game.
Give me that line.
Seattle by 3.5.
I'm going with Sierra.
Okay, you're going with Sierra then.
That's a good bet right there. I'll give him that.
Sierra.
I got the running back.
And the last game of the day on Sunday, not the last game of the day, but the last game of these pick'ems. Okay. New Orleans at Chicago. Chicago is 3-2. New Orleans is 5-1. A Chicago win would pretty much put them, in good position in that conference. Now, Chicago, believe it or not, is giving up 3 points.
And where's the game at again? At Chicago?
In Chicago.
So I'm going to say Teddy Bridgewater is due for a loss. That's number one. He's due for a loss. He's due for a loss. I'm going to take the Bears in a blowout. Due for a loss. Even though I can't stand Mr. Trubisky, I'm taking the Bears defense.
Who that talking about beating them Saints? Who that? Yeah, I'm glad you gave me that one.
Hey, man, we got to shout out to B. Rim, man. Byron Rim, head coach at IUPUI on the Facebook feed. What's up, frat? Yes, sir.
Shout out to Byron Rim. Also,
just hired.
You guys this weekend, of course, what we start doing on Baby Friday, we start letting the people know what, you plan to be out and about this weekend or different events you're going to be attending. Let them know what you got going on.
When you finish, Jim, I got one for you. I got something for all the guys. I got something for them.
And, of course, this weekend, I want to let guys know, I will be visiting down in Prairie View, Texas for the Preview homecoming, weather permitting. And also I'll be over at Yates High School for the freshman fall championships on Saturday. So go duck in over at Yates for a few hours and don't expect me I won't be there all day, guys. I'm just going to do the hokey pokey on that thing. I'm going to put my left foot in and my left foot back out. I'm hitting 290.
Hey, Hatter,
tell me what time we headed up tonight. But
we go
back.
Hatter,
we doing a twosome now. We gonna remember like last time. We went Friday, then went back on Saturday.
Let's do our thing, nigga.
Hey, Hatter, you didn't answer the question the other day. I don't know if it was yesterday when you were talking about you were walking around homecoming with Jimmy. Did anybody know he played baseball there? That's all I want to know because I don't think anybody knew him.
Oh,
Did
they knew.
anybody know?
Hella, they knew.
Man,
Hella met
Jimmy
my
had a
coach.
receiving line.
Jimmy.
Hey, I was Jimmy's security around there, man.
Man, Jimmy is a donor, man.
know
Jimmy
what?
giving his money to them people, man.
Hey, no, you know what? Know what's so funny? Know what's so funny? What Halla mentioned, you know, he was trying to mention it to you yesterday. What was ironic of all the places to be, I'm telling you, Halla met two people that actually played Little League baseball.
Yeah.
And had tied to Little League baseball with Chris Walker and myself. We were 11, 12.
They didn't mention Chris. They didn't know Chris that good.
Well, one of them did. One of them did.
The drunk one. The drunk one.
Stop it.
He didn't know Chris that good, man. He was talking about Chris.
I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't.
Say, Halla, Chris was the guy. Chris was the guy when we was Little League baseball. When we were 12 years old. Chris was the guy that spit through the front of his teeth. He spit. When he spit, he's a back catcher. He ain't spit like the regular guy. He spit through his teeth.
No, you know what? I was the kind of guy that said, Jimmy, bring me some Gatorade. I'm thirsty.
Oh,
Chris, I got something for y'all, right? Because I listen to y'all, and I try to find stuff. I remember, Chris, we talk about when Jimmy used to give coaching a parent seminars where the parents supposed to come. Seminars that tell them about recruiting, and they didn't show up. They didn't, we talk about this kind of stuff. Let me tell you something. Area coaches, all right? Even if you just want to learn something about basketball. I got some for you that happen to be the first for 3 or 4 of the favorite letters in my life. FREE for y'all. So get ready. You can see some people will see when we get to pulling off the picks, they get off the line. But y'all better share this show right now. So you better tell all your people who got off the line. U of H is giving a free coaching clinic this weekend, Jimmy. October the 19th at the Tillman Fertitta Center at the how much it is again? FREE. They got about 100 people already signed up. But if you come now, the Chop Shop thing, y'all walk up on that day and can register on that day. Everything is free. Let me show you what they're giving. And you tell your friends who tune off this show. Breakfast and lunch provided for free. Let me repeat that. Breakfast and lunch is provided for free. Okay? They show you weight room stuff, skill development stuff, and film room sessions are included, featuring Kelvin Sampson in their open practice this Saturday. I got more for you. Guess what? Check-in time is at 9 a.m. to 9:45. Guess what park it is, Jimmy? Free. Let me repeat that. Parking is free. The open practice is at 12:15 to 2:15. I done told you how you register. Let me tell y'all something. They didn't publicize it. They probably did. But when I saw this information, I said, I am not about to not give this information to y'all so y'all can go around and say, let me tell y'all something. Kelvin Sampson is one of the greatest coaches on this planet. And he opening up his world to you for free this weekend. This is not a U of H commercial. This is a Robert Hatter to our Chop Shop listeners a commercial. We told y'all we look out for y'all. We have Jesse Washinton on the show. We have Mr. Oyuma on the show the other day. Think about what I just said, Chris Walker.
I feel you.
Free. Unbelievable. I just had to share that. And our starting five for the day was Trey Phillips, Melvin Dews, Dr. John Newsom, Ricky Scott, and Todd Holmes. Y'all know Robert Hatter ain't gonna forget about you. So Jimmy, that's all I had, man. We got a few minutes left. Oh no, we don't. Oh no, we over time. No, we just started a little late. I'm just
I'm
looking
out.
at the live thing.
Yeah,
So,
man. It's at that time, guys. Guess
Yeah.
what? Hey, go TSU, baby, up and
Oh
down.
my God.
It's a
I
reason
gotta
they
go.
call upsets.
where they at, Jim?
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna
Jim,
do
where
with
they
that
at,
one.
Jim? Where they at?
They play the old Jaguars. I'm sorry.
Christian clicked
They
off
changed
the
it
show.
on. Have you seen some of those dancing girls now for Southern? They call the hag wars. Hag. Like a hag war.
What?
TSU, baby. It's a reason upsets are called upsets.
Man,
The perfect time to bounce back from that homecoming loss last week against the first place Southern Jaguars.
I'm with TSU.
TSU.
I'm with
Huh?
TSU. What's
That's
the link?
what I'm
Angie
talking
said,
about.
what's
Hey,
the link?
I'm gonna wear black on Monday for the funeral for the Southern Jaguars because they're gonna feel like they died
Hold
after
up,
that
Jimmy.
drive back down.
Jimmy, Angie asked me what the link is. Angie, I don't have a link. I just got that information for you. Just go to U of H basketball. I got the flyer here, and it's unbelievable. I mean, I cannot believe that's the flyer with Kevin Sampson on it. I can try to post it
Just
on
search
our
them on
page.
social media. It's on their website.
Yeah,
Just
it's on
search
their
the U of H
website.
on Twitter.
But let me tell y'all something. Yeah, don't do that. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Tell a friend, tell another friend. So Jimmy, what you got? You gonna slide down, Demo?
Yeah,
Demo's
man,
back?
it's that time. It's time. Hey, guess what? It's Baby Friday, guys. Thanks so much for everybody tuning to the Chop Shop. Make sure you share today's show with your family, your friends, and even on your timelines. This is it was a great conversation. You got in late. You missed the dialogue with Jesse Washinton
Oh, my
of the
goodness.
Undefeated and ESPN. Great dialogue. That's how we're doing the Chop Shop. See you guys on Monday. On behalf of Chris Walker, the hater, and of course Robert Hatter and myself, the hat. I'm twisting things around, baby. It's time to. Hey, I feel like I'm on Coolie High right now, baby.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm about to go get cool, but not high. I'll be seeing you guys on Monday. Chop, chop. I'm up out of here. Peace.
Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop.